Here we have the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the 30-minute price chart. Each candle on this time frame represents a 30-minute trading period. And as we're starting to move into the close for the week, we can see that share prices are trading under a bit of selling pressure. What this is starting to look like is a lot of two-way price action because if we remember from the prior video, we did see a fairly significant short-term breakout to the top side, breakout resistance level, but there really wasn't much follow through from there. And if we sort of compare that ultimate price high to the prior spike high that was seen for this stock, we are seeing some relatively limited upside price movement at the moment. So just to quickly go over that, what we were looking at previously was this area at roughly 43.85, and now this more recent price high comes in at 44.23. So let's just write that in here quickly. So as we can see here, we did see a little bit of a break of resistance here, but overall the follow through is extremely limited. So now that we're starting to see some downside price action here, it almost starts to call into question whether or not this short term breakout here was a false breakout. So overall, when we're looking to make that determination, how do we make that determination? How do we decide if something is actually a false breakout? So one thing that we can do is we can look at the closest near-term support zone. So most recently, what we have seen here is support that has started to develop right around the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement zone of this broader trending move here. So essentially, that would be this price low from 37.30 to roughly $44. So we can see here that right here comes in contact with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, and we're starting to move back into that area once again. So we haven't really broken below there at the moment, but this is really the level that I would be watching in order to determine whether or not what we have seen recently can be considered a false breakout to the top side. There was only minimal differences here as far as the ultimate price high. I mean, we're comparing 43.85 to 44.23. So, there's not much difference here in share prices, and you can make the argument that this really was a price failure rather than a price breakout. Overall, this trading range here to the side, sideways trading range, did sort of break out here. But when we move right back into that trading range without seeing any follow through to the top side, it really starts to call these things into question. So if you're bullish on this stock, what you really want to see at the moment would be for share prices to sort of bounce out of this area, right around $40. You could move a little bit below $40 before bouncing. But really what you would want to see is, the avoidance of share prices maybe closing below there as well. I mean, we're coming into the end of the trading session here, so that's starting to look unlikely. Trading volumes themselves are starting to slow down as well. So it doesn't really look like there's enough activity in the market to force a price move like that. But that is something that you might want to watch for as the market closes this week. So overall, in the indicator reading, what we can point to here would be some upside momentum that it has been generated. This has now been tested on 3 separate occasions, and share prices are ready to possibly force the relative strength index above its own exponential moving average. So if we did see a bounce here, that would be a positive signal. We're seeing a little bit of activity like this, but not much at the moment. Really, what you'd like to see would be a bit more follow through with the relative strength index bouncing above, breaking above its own exponential moving average. So we're not quite there yet. If we sort of pull out on the price chart a little bit further, we can do that just to sort of close out this video, because we do need to sort of try to assess, where this longer term price movement is likely to be headed. This two-way price action at the moment is starting to look very choppy and a bit unpredictable. So, for example, I mean, we're seeing breaks of resistance and then, share prices move right back into the trading range. We see what should be a breakout of the trading range, but then we move right back into it. That's not a great sign. So if we sort of move out here a bit on the longer term price history, we can start to see that the major trading range that we sort of should be watching here really comes in at the top at roughly 48.50. As we can see here, that is also the sort of the top of this prior price gap that we saw. So, if we could break above here, I think you would have a fairly easy time moving back above that $50 level because this price gap extends all the way to almost $55. This is 55.60. So, you could get a fair bit of upside here. That's almost a 10%, it's over a 10% price move. And that could happen in a fairly short amount of time, but you would want that to happen relatively quickly in order for, that type of activity to take place. I mean, the longer you go without a price gap being filled, there's the greater likelihood that many of those orders are going to be closed either manually or automatically. So, ideally, this scenario would be that share prices are able to bounce from here, from these lower 40s, and then sort of, break through, hopefully, that 48.50 area. I think most people would probably be watching that $50 zone. But, I think that if we do see a break above 48.50, that should generate enough share price momentum to the top side to actually force the stock through upwardly through that $50 mark. So, these are some potential price failure points here as well. I mean, you do have to look at these things in both directions. So, a negative scenario would be moving into 48.50 and then failing, or even worse, would be sharp prices breaking below this 39.80 support zone. So, just to kind of end on this final point here. The major downside risk here really would be for something like that. I mean, we're starting to sort of drift into this support zone at the moment. So, a bear trigger here. There are people that are short this stock or are looking to short this stock. One potential signal here that you could look for would be a break below this 39.80 area. That really would take some steam out of the stock, put some momentum back on the downside, and possibly force us back into those lows at $37.30. So here's the current stock market update for Super Microcomputer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.